Hey, this is Melina, and today I'm going to tell you everything about postpartum because no one warned me about these stuff. Everything from what it's like going to the bathroom, pain, hospital food, and so much more. For a little background, I had a vaginal birth without an epidural, and I am now 3 months postpartum. Let's first talk about going to the bathroom and how it felt down there because no one taught me how to use the restroom postpartum or any advice about this before I gave birth. I had a second-degree tear and it honestly hurt so much every time I stood up, moved around, or even sat down. I couldn't even walk short distance from the hospital bed to the bathroom inside the room, so the nurse or my husband had to help me get to the bathroom. The first thing I used was a perineal cold pack. You'll hear a pop sound and then it gets cold, so don't pop it until you're ready to use. Then I put these circular pads soaked in witch hazel, then sprayed thermoplast on top and placed it inside my underwear. And definitely do this because it helped a ton with the soreness and stinging. In terms of underwear, I wore these stretchy disposable underwear for several weeks after delivery. I loved how stretchy they were. They weren't tight around my belly and you can just dispose them if they get dirty. And just for a heads up, you will be bleeding for up to 6 weeks after delivery, which is completely normal. So make sure to have lots of pads. I bled a lot at first and it slowly decreased, so I think it's helpful to have pads in different sizes. You'll definitely need the bigger jumbo ones at first, and then you can use like the regular ones when the amount of blood decreases. By the way, the hospital provides all of these, at least in the US, in my experience. So I would recommend using the ones they give you in the hospital while you're there, and then saving the ones you get on your own to use after you go home. One thing I do recommend bringing your own is an upside down peri bottle. The hospital provided one, but it wasn't upside down, and I found the upside down kind much easier to spray. It's not expensive. I got mine on Amazon and I would say it was definitely worth it. I'll leave links for everything I talk about in this video in the description below for anyone interested. You fill the bottle with lukewarm water and it helped a ton with stinging. I was honestly terrified to go number 2. I thought I'm going to pop my stitches from the tear, but thankfully nothing happened and it was all fine. What really helped me was taking a stool softener. The hospital gave me some starting right after birth, and I ordered more on Amazon, and I was told that they're generally safe to use, so I took them every day for a whole month after delivery. But obviously this is not medical advice. Check with your doctor. In terms of the pain down there, I was still so sore after 2 weeks of delivery, and I was so worried that something is wrong, that my stitches were not healing properly. So I went to my OB after 2 weeks of delivery, and they told me the stitches are still there, but it's just not healed yet, so I'll likely feel some pain. So from my experience, everything was completely normal, but I still felt a lot of pain and soreness. So don't be too worried that something is wrong, even if you feel too much soreness. Another thing that helped was a donut seat cushion. It's like a cushion that you put on your seat, but it has a hole in the middle like a donut. I also used a perineal balm that gave a nice cooling feeling after using the bathroom. And I also did Sitz bath. Just add a little bit of Sitz bath salt into a toilet seat with warm water and sit for 10 to 20 minutes. The hospital didn't provide any of these. I got them myself on Amazon, but I would recommend trying them if you have a lot of soreness and pain down there. At 6 weeks postpartum, I went back to my OB and she told me that everything has been healed nicely. And by the way, when I went in for that appointment, they asked if a student can join. And I did say yes. It felt a little awkward, but it's totally up to you if your hospital is also a teaching hospital where there's medical students, and if you feel uncomfortable them being in the room, then feel free to say no. Now let's talk about hospital food and eating after birth. I don't know about you all, but I was really curious what the hospital food is going to look like after delivery, so I'll share what I had. Right after delivery, they gave me pasta with grilled chicken, a breadstick, lemon pudding, and ginger ale. And I thought it was pretty good. I did have a really long labor and I was in so much pain during labor I couldn't eat anything, so I was really hungry after giving birth, so that probably made it taste a little better. Every single day, the hospital served breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I filled out a little paper with my food preferences, and they brought the food to my table every single day. I stayed a total of 2 nights, and for breakfast, I had scrambled eggs, pancakes, and sausage, Some lunches and dinners included lemon chicken with broccoli and potatoes, meatloaf with green beans, chicken with rice and veggies, and chicken parmesan and zucchini. Everything was served warm. I had no complaints about the hospital food. I couldn't breastfeed because I had a pelvic fracture towards the end of pregnancy and was in a ton of pain, and the doctors told me that breastfeeding would delay my healing because of all the hormones it releases from breastfeeding. But especially if you are breastfeeding, I would say definitely eat well because it burns a ton of calories. After I got back home, I pretty much ate whatever I wanted, but I did try to make sure I get some protein along with a lot of veggies and fruit. In Korean culture, we eat seaweed soup postpartum. It's rich in iron and calcium, which helps with healing and lactation, so I would recommend it if you have access to it. Now, about body image and weight loss. Your body doesn't go back to how it was before pregnancy right away. Right after delivery, my belly did shrink a bit, but I still looked pregnant. I gained about 40 pounds during pregnancy, and at this 3 months postpartum mark, I've lost about 25 pounds. I'm not rushing to lose weight, and I didn't go on any specific diet, but I've been using an app called Nutrinaut where you take photos of your food and it logs it for you. It definitely has been helping me be more mindful of what I'm eating and to make sure I'm getting enough protein. I tend to fall off food tracking if it's too time consuming, but this app is super quick and easy, so I've been consistent with it. As for sleep, I've been really thankful for my in-laws for helping out with the baby, so I've been able to get enough sleep. But I still felt physically exhausted from all the hormones changing, so definitely try to sleep when your baby is sleeping. And if there's anyone offering help, I would say take it because your body needs time to heal too. With all the hormones changing, physical exhaustion, and pain during delivery, a lot of women experience mood swings and postpartum depression. I didn't go through depression myself, but if you feel sad or something is off, please go talk to your doctor. And I feel like there's a lot of guilt around women if they feel depressed or sad or just being around the baby, but I really feel like you shouldn't feel guilty and your body has gone through so much, so go ask for help if you need some. I've seen moms who are able to do some light exercise just after a few days of vaginal birth, but for me, I couldn't even move around for several months after delivery because of my pelvic fracture. But even if I didn't have my fracture, I feel like I wouldn't have been able to exercise right away because even just standing up caused so much soreness and pain. So I don't think I could have exercised anyway, but I think it really depends on your body and from person to person. Once my bone was healed, I started with some light exercise prescribed from my physical therapist, and I also log my exercises using the Nutrinaut app. You just tap the exercise button and log the intensity and duration and it's all done. It only takes a few seconds, and for me, logging it really helped me stay motivated and consistent. At most cases, OBs will clear you for activity at 6 weeks postpartum. But again, everyone's body is different, so make sure to listen to your own body. If you feel like your pelvic floor muscles are weak, then I would recommend going to a pelvic floor therapist, which I did, and I feel like it helped. I've also seen a lot of women who experience night sweats, but I didn't experience that myself. And even though I couldn't breastfeed, my breast still got really tight and leaked for a few days. I used nipple pads and wore a comfy nursing bra. Your boobs will be sore whether you breastfeed or not. I didn't do any special massage for my boobs. The tightness just went away on its own for me, but I'm sure moms who are breastfeeding will be able to share a ton more breastfeeding tips. Lastly, I want to mention, don't stress too much about your hospital bag. I see videos where moms are packing a ton of stuff as if they're going on like a month-long trip. And of course, that's totally fine, and feel free to do that if that's what you want and want to feel extra prepared. But I just wanted to say that at least in my experience giving birth in the US, the hospital provided almost everything. The only things that I really used that I brought on my own were a long phone charger because the hospital bed was not close enough to the outlet, my going home outfit, slippers to wear inside the hospital room, and that upside down peri bottle I mentioned. You can also bring cute gowns for photos, but I just wore the hospital gowns because they easily got dirty and it was just easier to change frequently into fresh ones. So that's pretty much everything I wish I knew postpartum. Please feel free to share your experience or advice or tips in the comments because that will help another mama out there. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video with more mom content. Thanks for watching. Bye!